Hi, I'm Taylor with Mom on the Spectrum, and today we're talking about a big buzzword, gaslighting. Maybe you've heard this term going around and you have some confusion about what it is. I'm going to define it for you and give you 4 signs that can help you determine if you're actually gaslighting yourself. But before we jump in, I want to share with you my new favorite fidget toy. So you know, if you've been around on the channel, that I have high standards for fidget toys. And you've heard me talk about my Ono roller, but have you seen the Ono Scroller? Okay, so I'm going to put this down for a second. You know how much I love this. The Ono Scroller is equally well designed, and it has this amazing little rolly ball in the middle. And let's see, this is it without the keychain. Okay, so it's this amazing, I think this is an aluminum. Look how pretty, look how well it's shaped. So what I love about Ono is how well everything is designed, and there's so much you can do with it. But I would not get this without the keychain, just because this is also super stemmy, and I love this like super flexible, and I keep this on a keychain, and then I keep this on my key ring with all my other keys, and I play with it when I'm in the car, I play with it when I'm waiting in line somewhere. But this whole contraption all together is just my new favorite. So if you love the Ono roller, you're going to absolutely love the Ono Scroller. I've got the link in the description, and I have a 10% off code if you use Mom on the Spectrum at checkout. So let me know if you try it and what you think about it, because I love hearing your feedback, and I know that you guys love this. So can't wait to see what you think about the new one. Okay, that being said, let's talk about gaslighting. Okay, gaslighting is a big word that's been going around a lot, and let's talk about what it is. Gaslighting is manipulating someone into questioning their own perception of reality. And yes, you can do it to yourself. Okay. So this is not a good feeling. This feels very icky. It feels very like ungrounded, uncentered. You don't know what to hang on to because truth feels hard to grasp. Like you can't define what's happening in your own world. So this happens a lot to autistic people. You may have heard that we deal with something called masking. Okay. So masking is kind of innately like covering up our own wants and needs in order to do what we think is expected of us by others. And because we're used to this practice, this also causes us to, for so many reasons, it causes us to downplay our body's feedback. Like we stop listening to what we want and what we need because we think we need to mask over that to do what we're supposed to do. But also playing along with this is that our nervous system is on high alert. So a lot of people in the community have described the experience of being autistic as like an antenna. So you walk in a room and you pick up on so many sounds and sights and feelings, the feelings of other people. Some people can hear electricity in the walls, right? There's so many different little perceptions that we're filtering through every second as an autistic person. And so that can really cause overwhelm to our nervous system, and it can make it difficult to filter out our body's cues and to know which ones to actually respond to. So these are all things that kind of play into reasons why we might be gaslit. I feel like I need to mention one more, if that's okay, before we get into our 4 signs. The third thing that kind of plays into why we're gaslit, and if you've heard me say this before, I say it with all the love in the world. Autistic people, we tend to be a little bit more naive than other people. We tend to believe the best in people. We tend to think that everybody's telling the truth, that they're giving us the best of themselves, right? Because I feel like, generally speaking, that's how many autistic people are. We show up, we give the best that we have to give. We're telling the truth a lot of times to other people's detriment because some people don't like how blunt we are, right? But you may have found that that's not the case with other people. A lot of us have been lied to, a lot of us have been manipulated, and for whatever reason, still exploring this one, there is some weird connection between autistic people being tied to people with narcissistic tendencies, okay? And I know this is true because I have talked about this with so many of you in my groups who have similar experiences, and this can be really upsetting. So okay, I was not planning to get into all of this, but it's important, okay? So contrary to popular belief, autistic people do not lack empathy, okay? Many of us are actually empathic, like we can feel things for other people. And I think sometimes people, I seriously was not planning to get into all this, sometimes other people, I think, perceive us as less empathetic because sometimes we're processing so much feeling that we don't know how to communicate it. Okay, so I think it's the opposite. Okay, so let me just put that out there. So we tend to have these empathic, empathetic qualities, And that can attract personality types, people who need help regulating their emotions, right? They don't know how to feel empathy for themselves, and so they cling to other people to help them experience that. And so us, again, being naive and concerned with justice and being the best version of ourselves, usually, again, these are generalizations for the autistic community, but we want to show up and we want to help. And so we will use everything that we have. We will deplete ourselves to help other people regulate their emotions. Okay, let me know if I'm alone in this. That being said, these are all reasons why we might experience gaslighting more than others. Okay, so here are 4 signs that you're gaslighting yourself. Okay, the first sign is that you're constantly questioning your own judgment, feelings, and experiences. You never know if you can really trust what has actually happened to you, and you talk yourself out of it a lot of times. So you might feel a certain way about something, but you second guess yourself. You overthink it. You tell yourself maybe that's not really what happened, and you never really feel, again, it's kind of this ungrounded feeling. You're not really sure what to hold on to because the truth feels like shaky. The second thing, kind of related, is that the voice inside your head is always telling you that you're overreactive or oversensitive. Okay. Many of us have actually verbatim been told this in our lives, that we're too sensitive, we're overreacting. And so we internalize that. And rather than appreciating that our body is actually giving us healthy feedback about our environment that we can trust, right? Because again, we're that antenna, we're taking in a ton of information. Our body is giving us feedback. Yeah, maybe we are more sensitive than other people, but we're not too sensitive, right? It's important feedback that many of us have been taught to believe is unnecessary, too much, overwhelming. Okay, so you might find yourself telling yourself that I'm being too sensitive, I'm being overreactive. Okay, that's the second sign you might be gaslighting yourself. The third sign you might be gaslighting yourself is that you tend to question your own memories. So when you think back on something upsetting that happened to you, you're not sure if that's actually what happened. You have like different versions of it in your head, and you can't even trust your own memories. That's kind of a scary place to be. And unfortunately, this happens especially related to traumatic past experiences. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. You look back and you have all kinds of feelings about that memory that just make you wonder, like, did that actually even happen? And it can be a very scary feeling, honestly. The fourth sign that kind of goes along with number 3 is that you blame yourself for what other people have done to you, or you tell yourself that you deserved what was done to you. Okay, so I don't know who needs to hear this, but we are not responsible for other people's feelings. We are not responsible for other people's actions. Even if you say something that upsets somebody else and causes them to have a reaction, that reaction is not your fault. You're not responsible for their reaction, okay? We're not responsible for regulating other people's emotions, and it's important to be able to speak in a way that communicates our truth, even if it upsets other people. So many of us have gotten used to not communicating our truth because we don't want to upset other people. And so again, this all plays into masking, people-pleasing, fawning. It's all related, okay? So if you feel like you deserve what has happened to you and you tell yourself that story and you blame yourself for what has happened, that's a really good sign you're probably gaslighting yourself. Because again, I just can't say it enough times. You are not responsible for how other people choose to handle their upsetting emotions. If they do something negative with that emotion and lash out physically or say something that's really harmful or hurtful, none of those things are your fault. You are responsible for what you say and do. Other people are responsible for what they say and do. If you upset someone, you're not responsible for soothing that upset, okay? If it's a relationship that's conducive to a healthy conversation where you can share that pain and frustration together and you can, safely hear them and respond to that hurt and help clarify where you may be coming from, that's a totally different situation. But if somebody's coming to you with these really overwhelming, big, large emotions that they're blaming you for, that ain't healthy, and that's not your fault. That's not your responsibility. In the next video, I'm going to share 3 simple strategies for ungaslighting yourself and creating healthier patterns in our lives. Can't wait to share that with you. Remember to check out the Ono Scroller, link in the description. Use my code MOMONTHESPECTRUM for 10% off, and please let me know what you think about it because it's amazing. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.